You're listening to Mind, Body, Home with your host, Sarah Ann. I am so excited to be here with you today. I know I missed last week's episode because I have been busy. I have been getting all of my ducks in a row for the release of my new book, Room for Home, A Woman's Guide to Work-Life Balance, beginning with your space. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding it up in the flesh. I am so incredibly proud of this book, you guys. I know that I've mentioned it on the podcast before, and if you're on my email list, you have certainly seen my announcement that it is now available on my website at jadescottdesign.com. So I want to talk a little bit about the book today, some of the themes I've written about, and what you can expect. First, let's just start with my own story, okay? The book was written for women who are overwhelmed, frustrated, and craving work-life balance, which that key term, work-life balance, is directly what I address in the book because it's a term that has started circulating in recent years. And I believe that is so because so many women are starting to feel burnt out by the demands of managing a household alongside their job or their career, or if you run a business like me, your business. And I say this was my own story because I was that woman. Okay. I was working in corporate IT, wanting a change, and also wanting to start my own business, which I did, and I juggled as a side hustle for many years. And then when I took Jade Scott Design full time, the celebration period was extremely short lived. The demands of running a business full time and the fear of needing to be the supplier of my own income weighed very heavily on me, as it does every entrepreneur. For me personally, I wasn't just the interior designer, right? I was also the website builder, the marketer, the customer service line, the admin assistant. The list honestly goes on. And I'm not complaining. All of those roles have helped shaped my business and me personally in ways that I am incredibly grateful for. However, I was all of those things, most of the time a newbie learning all those things, while I was still also a mom and a wife, the grocery shopper, the house cleaner, the list maker, right? I was also the daughter, the friend. I still had my own desires for the things I loved to do, like designing my own home, traveling, learning, growing, right? But guess what tended to fall to the bottom of the list, right? I didn't travel as much as I would have liked. I wasn't able to do the renovations at home that I had planned when we bought our home. I didn't invest as much as I would have liked in courses or taken more creative classes to help me learn and grow, mainly because there was no time and a lot of times not enough money to do it all. And so the things that I wanted fell to the bottom of the list and everything else took priority. And how many of you can relate to that, right? When that happens, the underpinnings of resentment start to settle into the body, right? We are stretching ourselves thin, saying yes to everyone and everything before saying yes to ourselves. And now with social media and, pressure from the internet, just keeping us distracted all the time and feeling helpless as if we're not doing enough, right? I talk about all of this in the book. And one of the biggest takeaways that I hope you get from it is the concept of work-life balance and asking yourself, what does that actually mean? I'll tell you what I think it means. When I think of work-life balance, I think of structure, managed time, perfectly planned calendars. I was looking for that. I was striving for that. And when I say that out loud, what I hear is control or force, right? Like I'm forcing balance to happen. But I have learned to loosen. I've learned to loosen my grip. I've learned to soften into a slower, more intentional daily rhythm. In fact, the word soften was my word of the year last year. This is living in alignment. And this substitute, this one word substitute, alignment in place of balance, is one of the concepts I write about in the book, and one that is really going to change the way you think about your life, what you desire, and your home. If you think of a pendulum, those desktop pendulums that swing back and forth, that pace at which its gravitational pull and momentum are in a flow state, that's alignment. Things are moving back and forth in a rhythm. When the pendulum stops, those balls are in perfect order, hanging together at the same height, but they're not moving. That's balance. Balance is the state of pause. It's a resting state. There is no momentum. And life doesn't work like that. Life asks us to keep moving. But if we're chasing balance all the time, in essence, we're chasing stagnation, and that's not sustainable. So what do? Instead, we seek alignment. Alignment is moving or living in a way that feels sustainable, where your lifestyle, your work, your energy, your body, and your home move together in sync. And when you're clear about the way you want to feel, the life you want to be living, support and harmony can follow when you seek alignment with those things. In my mind, I almost think of alignment as like this upward curvature, right? This upward line where it's not straight, it's not direct, it's not forced. There's just an ease and a flow, and I'll go here and I'll go there. I'll go up, I might come down a little bit. That's sort of the image I have for alignment. How do you get there? Through ritual and micro practice, right? Of course, knowing what you want and how you want to feel is the first step. And because the book is part journal, you'll have multiple opportunities to get really clear about those things. Obviously, we don't want to be feeling overwhelmed. We don't want to be stretched thin, right? We're tired of overcommitting to everything and everyone. We are done with not listening to our bodies when they want rest or when they're craving play. Room for Home helps you get clear on what it is you want. And then from there, you begin to introduce home rituals and micro practices that you attach to the things you're already doing. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, washing dishes. The book teaches you how to slow down and notice just enough so that you can implement a new routine or a new rhythm. I'll give you an example of my own. I have an open concept. If you're on YouTube, you can kind of see behind me. That's my living room. My kitchen is right over here. My bedroom is in the back corner. When the kids were really little, I started waking up before everyone in the house so that I could have some quiet mental space to myself. And, it's looked different over the years. Sometimes I would meditate. Sometimes I would journal, maybe do some light yoga or stretching. Lately, it's been just having a cup of warm water on the couch with my dog, Honey. She's a little Pomeranian. She's so adorable. I don't care if it's 10, 15, 30 minutes. Just starting your day with a little bit of quiet is golden. But before I even do that, it's my evening ritual that really sets the stage. Before I go to bed, I spend 5 minutes. It might even be like 3 minutes or 2 minutes, honestly. I fluff the pillows on the couch. I fold the throw blankets. I clear the coffee table of any glasses or little bits of trash. And again, I have the open concept floor plan, so the kitchen island is there, and I try to clear that off or clean it up as best as I can. And That way, when I come out in the morning, when I step out of my bedroom, the first thing I see is this open concept, my living room and my kitchen. When I come out for my quiet time, this area, it's orderly. And when it's orderly, I can be relaxed. And if it's not, my mind goes into immediate task mode, right? I want to clean things up. I don't want to sit and rest. I can't sit around that. That's just me. So that 3 to 5 minutes is, again, it's gold for me. It's quiet reflection time. It's snuggles with my dog. It's sitting with my husband 5 minutes before he leaves for work. This is how I start my day every day. And listen, I was never like that. I used to be the snooze the alarm multiple times kind of girl. Roll out of bed, hair in a bun, teeth brushed, coffee to go, and I was on my way. Learning to slow down and giving myself the gift of quiet before stepping into work or out into the chaos of the world has been game-changing for me. And look, it takes 3 to 5 minutes before bed. It takes 15, 20, 30 minutes of getting up earlier. The practices I introduce to you in the book are micro. They don't take a lot to implement, but they have a really big impact. Room for Home, A Woman's Guide to Work-Life Balance, beginning with your space, is out and available. In it, you're going to learn how to stop chasing balance and instead find alignment through guided journal prompts. There's even room for you to write directly into the book. It provides you with a list, tons of ideas and ways to integrate those tiny practices and home rituals to help you get clear and bring in more ease and calm into your home. Because when our home feels like a peaceful place to land, right, in the mornings, when we get home from work or get home from a busy evening, or before we lay down for sleep, we feel that peace and ease in our mind and body as well. The hardcover version is available on my website, jadescottdesign.com. The direct link is in the show notes. I did everything on my own. I am so incredibly proud of it. I designed the cover, the interior, I self-published it. It's considered a tiny book. That is an actual genre of books, and I did so intentionally. The women I'm trying to reach are overwhelmed and busy, right? Reading a book for some of these women is a luxury. So I wanted it to be a quick read. You can read it in under an hour. I wanted it to get right to the point with easy to implement practices. The hardcover version was designed to be pretty and appreciated. I like to say it's a nice keepsake for your nightstand. Your purchase on my site directly supports me as an independent author. Additionally, your book will be printed through Lulu, which they are a certified B Corp, which is committed to sustainability and social impact. I was very intentional about that. If you do prefer paperback or Kindle, you can purchase those on Amazon as well. And the link to that is also in the show notes. My friends, I hope you will celebrate with me and go get your copy. It's been a dream to get this book out into the world and into your hands. I cannot wait to hear what you all have to say about it. And now is a great time to dive into the book because we are in a new season, right? We're in a new season, new routines, and the busyness of the holidays are upon us. So applying these principles from the book now is going to help you step into this busy season with a lot more ease and a much calmer state of mind. Links to purchase the book are in my show notes. Until next time, I'm sending you so much love and gratitude.